Thank you for coming together to our Shatter the Stigma 2020 virtual event as we honor families that have lost a loved one from overdose and as we share the message of hope that our prevention and recovery support programs provide for families in Oakland County. Due to these unprecedented times, we have transitioned our largest fundraising event to a virtual month-long experience, Shatter the Stigma 2020, which kicks off on August 31st for International Overdose Awareness Day. And we'll be continuing it throughout the month of September, which is also National Recovery Month. Due to the isolation of COVID-19, we've seen an increase in accidental overdoses and an increase in stress and anxiety. A recent article in the New York Times shows that nearly 72,000 people died in the U.S. from an overdose in 2019. And in the first half of 2020 alone, we've seen a sharp 13% increase. Locally, throughout Oakland County, we are seeing an increase in overdose incidences. I can sadly confirm that our staff have seen an increase in funerals in our communities due to overdose deaths. We have many families that look forward to our Shatter the Stigma annual family festival and the ability to honor their loved one that they have lost to an overdose. Join us as we honor the memories of their family members through Shatter the Stigma 2020.
Hi, my name is Elliot Clute. My dad's name was Nick Clute, and he died nearly 5 years ago when I was only 9 years old. This was really hard on my family and I, especially considering prior to his passing, I had no idea he was struggling with drug addiction, and it was and has been really hard growing up without my dad by my side. But luckily, a few years prior to his passing, my mom started getting involved with the Alliance, and then a few years later, I got involved with the Alliance so I could help speak at events like their annual 5K, or just help raise awareness in general about substance abuse and prevention. Donate today to help the Alliance continue helping families in Oakland County so that what happened to my family doesn't happen to your family.
I'm Calvin Higgins. I am the Assistant Vice President at the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, Detroit branch. Prior to coming on at the Federal Reserve, I was a Drug Enforcement Administration or DEA Supervisory Special Agent. I have 30 years of law enforcement, and the majority of that is in drug narcotics or drug law enforcement.
How did you get involved with the Alliance of Coalitions?
How I got involved in the Alliance of Coalition. So my last 12 years in DEA before I retired and came on with the bank was in Detroit. I was a supervisor special agent supervisor special agent for Drug Enforcement Administration. And part of my role as a supervisor special agent was to enforce the drug laws, but also to engage in community outreach and in the prevention of drug abuse and prevention of drug abuse. So at several meetings, I started going to meetings and community outreach meetings and conferences, and I would see Julie at these meetings. She represented the Alliance, and we got into conversation, and I wanted to be more involved in substance abuse other than arresting. I mean, my primary job, yes, as an agent was to arrest the drug traffickers, but there's another aspect to substance abuse and those who fall victim to substance abuse.
Why do you feel that funding Alliance prevention and recovery support programs is so important?
You have to have a complete addressing of the issue. And part of that issue is education, prevention, and recovery support programs, the same programs that are supported by the Alliance. And again, I've seen where, my 30 years in law enforcement, that we can't arrest our way out of it. We have to educate those. Those who are victims of this substance abuse, and also to prevent our young people from going into substance abuse, we have to educate them on the dangers of substance abuse. We have to prevent them from starting the substance abuse. And for those who are so unfortunate to have a substance abuse problem, we have to provide recovery programs to bring them out of this disease, to help them overcome this disease of substance abuse. So that's why it's important to have these programs in place, because I'm here to tell you, after 30 years of law enforcement, we cannot arrest our way out of it. We have to have a comprehensive program that includes education, prevention, and recovery programs. As a board member of the Alliance, I am a board member, so I've signed on to the Alliance program of prevention, education, recovery programs. We need the fundraising. We need the funds in order to implement and push out our programs. These programs are very, very important. And again, shatter the stigma.
All right. So thank you, Dr. Higgins, for participating in Shatter the Stigma 2020 and for being such an immense help on the Alliance board going forward. We really appreciate it.
And again, we're looking for your support. Shatter the Stigma 2020.
Help us reach our goal to raise $20,000 in 2020. How can you participate? Donate now or become a monthly giver. Start or join a team. Teams will compete throughout September and there will be prizes at the end. And tune in weekly over the month of September to hear impactful stories and get updates on Shatter the Stigma 2020. Thank you for joining us today, and I want to especially thank our sponsors. Without their financial support, we could not help the people in our communities. We are incredibly grateful for their generosity. Please go to our Shatter the Stigma 2020 event website and see the most updated list of our sponsors.